T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the Play It By Ear podcast. The podcast where the topics may vary because, hey, we play it by ear. And now your hosts, Aric Fiscus, Brady Liming, and Todd Griffin.
Well, it's a different night.
It is.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
That was much too reserved.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
I was afraid people would be tuning in expecting the topic to be about monster trucks. Because, you know, that's always what was on Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. So that's why I put it in the little advertisement, the promo.
Indeed.
It's like, man.
What is the, Aric, what is the, when I logged on today, it said something about recordings. What is that about?
Recordings.
Yeah, it said something about that you had allowed recordings or something like that now. Or enabled them, not allowed them.
Well, you guys can stream to another site if you want.
I have a technical question, too. I have a big, bright red box here right underneath our video that says recording error.
I don't know.
Is it on your side?
It is
Where
on
is it?
my end.
You know where it says you're in the show? And then right beside of it, there it says recording error. Open up recording tab to learn more.
Mine says uploading recordings. Stay in the studio until your recordings are uploaded.
Your GAC pit looks different than mine.
Yeah. And then over on the right, it says private chat, which I assume is just betwixt the three of us.
Yep.
Comments, which is usually on there, and then recording to the right.
There you go.
Just some new buttons, bells, and whistles for us non-engineering folk.
Yeah. And mine looks different. So, anyway, enough of that. People don't give a bleep about that.
A rat's anus.
Yeah, right. Episode 166 of the Play By Ear podcast. Celia is with us, as
Celia.
is Savannah. There's three other people in the room.
How many?
So there are 5 total. So if
Five
three
total.
other ones want to chime in, they can. If not, well, James is with us.
Hello,
James.
The historian. I'm in HD. Do I look better,
You
Chris?
do seem to be.
Well, all right. That's amazing. Make me look better. It's amazing. I'll take it. All right. Welcome once again to episode 166 of the Play It By Ear podcast.
Yeah.
James' lovely wife April's in the room as well.
April. You got all
hate
kinds
me.
of peeps.
85. So he hate me. 85. Is that your birth year, or is that some other number that has some significance?
I think we've asked that before.
Have we?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Aric, I sent you a text I think you're going to like.
Yeah, well, I saw that. that is vrai in the French, true in English. Looking a little orange. He says
Orange.
Orange.
It's a little bit.
More orange. Here we go. All right. Welcome one, welcome all. Again, it is a different night, as Brady put out the Facebook post. Todd will be traveling. here.
I will.
Going out of town. Where are you going to Florida? Is that right?
No. I'm going just down to Lexington, that area. A few days to
Yeah.
do some distillery tour or just visit some distilleries, and then we have a private show on the 4th of July in Lexington.
Oh, the bourbons.
Cool. Shoot, Aric just got back from traveling, and Todd is exiting, so I'm the only sedentary host.
Well, you went to Niagara Falls.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So we've all been somewhere out of Ohio, or will be. All right, so that's why we're on Sunday. That was the whole gist of that little thing there. So thanks for joining us tonight. Hopefully some other people can check in along the way. And if you've not been here before, I think everyone probably here has. But if you haven't, if you're hearing it on video or seeing it on video, hearing it on audio for the first time, what?
I was just going to say, and if you are chimed in on or tuned in on Facebook, you could share it.
Oh, yeah.
Share
Never
this
thought
while you're
about it.
watching.
We've never said that before, have we?
No, I
Can't
don't
share
think
this
so.
out.
Yeah, share it while you're watching, and then maybe we can pick up a few more. It's a very interesting topic tonight.
Yes. Speaking of topics, we talk about a topic until we've exhausted said topics. Well, sometimes we exhaust them, sometimes we hold them over. But anyway, Todd will have the topic on the evening. I will have a game. The game being confident. Question mark.
Confidence.
Drag it. That's what you do with the bourbons. Drag it.
Yeah.
Chris, thank you for sending me that clip. The historian sent me that weird science thing down to the dragon and right in the family use that part. It's a great movie.
Hold on.
Oh, is it coming? It's coming.
Holding.
Horde.
Horde.
All right. Here we go.
There we go.
Listening to this blues music reminds me of my own trials and tribulations as a young guy, and my folks, they really dump on me. They really do. I say, you guys get along with your parents? I guess you guys moved out by now, though, huh?
Here we go.
What's this, sir?
Drink it.
Well, that's very sweet thought of both of you gentlemen, but I really don't. Until now.
You got to while to the next quote, Aric. It's toward
See you
the
guys in the
end.
emergency room, huh?
Hello. In the family jewels.
Right there.
She need you in the nuts, some cold and faggot in front of everybody.
Bitch needs your nuts.
Bitch need my nuts, bitch. I'm not playing with you either, man.
In the family jewels.
Family jewels, man. Worst pain there is.
Oh my.
I'm surprised they haven't remade that movie. They remake everything else.
Oh, I don't.
Who would be your
Could
picks?
remade. I don't think that could be remade today.
I don't think it can be remade. And we're living it in this era of what do you call it? Advertisements on, all over social media where you could have an AI girlfriend where it
Well, that's true,
creates
yeah.
it, and so
They could
we're living
remake. They
weird
could
times.
remake that.
Yeah, they could.
They could remake it and just they would.
I don't think so. Not with the same storyline.
It would have to be different. Yeah, we can't discuss them on air, but there's certain things that would have to be, the aim of why they were creating the. Yeah, there's all. Yeah, this climate might not work.
They would probably make it like a. Well, I think it was PG-13 anyway, wasn't it?
Yeah, it'd probably be
what was
VR
it?
today. Well, because they're smoking in it. Remember, because they
That's
always
true.
put the may show tobacco use and drinking and flashing
I'm sorry.
lights and
I'm sorry. That is the dumbest warning ever. Smoking. Really?
I mean, I know my child, whenever she sees me watching something from an older movie, she just wants to pick up a pack just because she saw one on, it's kind of absurd.
Yeah, it's dumb.
But anyway.
All right. So yeah, little segue there into the Todd's trip there.
Well, there may be thematic elements in this episode. I still don't know what that is.
And hope
Thematic elements.
Celia doesn't kick in the family jewels. Oh, Celia, that's a good point. All you'd have to do is change it into two females making a man, then they can emasculate him. That's true.
She's right.
On the nose.
Ow.
Chris, still my favorite comment ever from this show. Brady, are you in a closet?
No, I'm in the laundry room, actually.
April says that era of PG-13 would be R plus today. Probably NC-17.
See, I don't know, because I think there's two different ways of looking at it. Because in some aspects, yes, but then you look at like what they do to horror movies these days. They take all of the all horror movies were always rated R. But, you think about your Friday 13th, your Nightmare on Elm Street, they were always rated R. Now every horror movie that comes out is PG-13.
Do you think do they have nudity in them nowadays? I haven't seen a horror movie yet. I went to a theater for the first time a couple of days ago. I don't know how long it'd been since I've been in a theater.
They don't have the same. They don't have nudity like they maybe did in the 80s. But my point is, like, I don't think you can make a real good horror movie and keep it PG-13.
Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a couple exceptions. I know we're going down the rabbit hole, but The Ring, when it came out, it was a PG-13 horror movie.
Yeah, that's true.
If that can't, and Poltergeist, and man, there seems to be another one of that ilk that was like one of those exorcism ones. Not the main ones, but I could be misremembering that. But yeah, there's been a couple, but it is just based on violence alone. I mean, it's going to get it in R.
They cut down the blood and guts.
Yeah.
Did you notice from the previous clip, one of the guys around the table was the janitor in Breakfast Club?
I did.
The guy with the hat? I didn't put it together, but now that you said that, as soon as you said that, I did not know that.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know it either.
Huh.
Hello, Richard. Trying to keep you on your toes.
Hey, Richard.
Yep, Sunday night.
All right.
Savannah says Voodoo has a bundle with Weird Science, Breakfast Club, and 16 candles. A
no
John
fresh
Hughes
horses?
Triple feature. Fresh horses. Get out of here.
What?
Yeah. Even though it was filmed in Cincinnati, get out of here. Can't put fresh horses with those movies.
If you're a 16 Candles fan, you got to be a Fresh Horses fan. It's got the same two. It's Molly Ringwald and
Andrew
what's his
McCarthy.
name? Andrew McCarthy. Yeah.
Not with teenage angst.
They were teenagers.
I thought
Fresh
Fresh
Horses?
Horses came later.
Yeah, it did come later.
Now we got to look it up.
Now you're going to have to IMDb that. I thought that was the one that came out where she was trying to be a mature
No,
adult.
because she lived at home.
actress.
No, she
Okay.
lived at home. Which doesn't mean that she wasn't an adult, but 1988.
1988.
I just don't. Why doesn't that stick in my head?
Once again,
Maybe
filmed
I'm
in
thinking
Cincinnati.
of another movie.
That was 4 years after 16 Candles, I guess. So, I mean, there was some distance there, but
Yeah.
I think wasn't Fresh Horses wasn't it? She was in high school maybe, and he wasn't. Is that the deal? I know he was from the other side of the tracks, literally. I believe.
Imagine that in an '80s movie.
Yeah.
Well, another Pretty in Pink sort of thing.
The roles were reversed.
But you're right. It is more of a drama.
Drama.
It's a coming of age drama as opposed to a coming of age comedy.
Farcical comedy, comedic farce.
Did
Chris,
you watch
yes,
the documentary? I
That's
just read
what
that.
you just said, yeah.
I
I
have.
thought- I felt it lacking.
You thought it was like, how did you feel it was lacking?
Well, first off, okay. And they finally kind of came to this, but I'm like, boo-hoo. Boo-hoo.
Yeah, I can't feel sorry for them.
You guys were on top of the world. making millions and millions of dollars, the hottest ticket in show business, and because somebody called you guys the Brat Pack, boo-hoo.
And it wasn't because you were brats. It's because it rhymed with Rat Pack and like, you know.
Well, the guy even said, I mean, no, I think the guy, he admitted he was kind of getting it like, but still. They
was a double entendre.
Yeah, and they proved themselves to be brats. The fact that they were so bothered by it.
Well, I will give them this much, because it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're feeling people are not taking you seriously in something that you're passionate about, it would bother you. And that's kind of what that thing did to them. They weren't taken seriously as actors. They were just kind of teenage whatever. Although most of them went on to greater things, you know. But
my
at the time, it probably did bother them.
It just seems like that's something like maybe now somebody would get bent out of shape about, being called a brat. But in the 1980s, we were tougher. It shouldn't have bothered those guys to be called a brat. My second problem with it is who they considered part of the Brat Pack and who wasn't. To me, that was confusing, and there was no rhyme nor reason to who was in, who was out.
I wondered if Anthony Michael Hall was even contacted about doing it, because I have him firmly ensconced in the Brat Pack. He was one of the younger members, but
and again, and so like, what about C. Thomas Howell?
Yeah,
I mean, Outsiders, Wolverines, or Red Dawn. Sorry, not Wolverines, Red Dawn. He kind of dipped his toe into the Brat Pack, and I think that's another thing too. Is so they were bothered by this what do you want to call it? This name, this group
branding.
But yet they themselves, it's like it was a club they didn't want certain people in, and and even now when this documentary is made, like they didn't include certain people. Now who knows who they asked and and who they didn't.
I do remember something at the beginning. They said that there were some that chose not to participate.
Well, I know Molly Ringworm said no.
Molly Ringworm.
And apparently Judd Nelson didn't make himself available because that was part of the thing.
He did allow his voice kind of be, he called Judd on the phone, but I don't know.
So how do you have Rob Lowe but not Anthony Michael Hall?
Yeah,
true.
Or that's the one that bothered me the most. Just
well, Celia had a good point there too, which she brought up when we were watching it. No Mayor Whittingham.
True.
I don't think. Yeah, why wasn't she in there?
Yeah. Now she's one that has disappeared. I know Ali Sheedy did some music and everything, but Mayor Whittingham, I couldn't tell you what what the last thing she did was.
And I'll tell you what, Ali Sheedy has held up well.
Yeah.
So
was Leah Thompson.
And I wouldn't consider Well, I wouldn't consider her part of the Brat Pack. Even though they talked to her, I wouldn't consider her part of the Brat Pack.
Well, she
was Brat Pack adjacent.
So maybe that would be C. Thomas Howell too. She was in St. Elmo's Fire. And that seemed to be what they were going by with most of it. But
I suppose.
Yeah, St. Elmo's was the center point. So I'm thinking, I'm going to have to go back and check this out, but I'm thinking that article dropped while St. Elmo's was in the zeitgeist. So that's probably why they focused on that cast. But still,
What about what's his name? Would Matt Dillon would he be in there?
What's his name?
Oh, I mean, the Matt Dillon and Tom Cruise over under. I mean,
Cruise. I wouldn't consider Cruise being in there.
No, I just had him lumped in with the Outsiders.
Outsiders is the only thing he was in.
Yeah.
But what about Matt Dillon? He was in the Outsiders. He also in Was it Matt Dillon? Say you would know this. Say it was Matt Dillon in any other of the movies where he could even be considered. Could he even be considered Brat Pack adjacent?
Was he in St.
He seems a little
Fire?
bit pre-Brat Pack, like just slightly before, like Swayze, Cruise, Matt Dillon, they all kind of like.
Well, when I say you mentioned Michael J. Fox, but now Michael J. Fox was
he was
kind of his own thing.
He was a TV guy first.
But he was his own thing.
And he was too wholesome to be a Brat Packer.
Yeah. Well, what you thought he was. But if you ever watch his documentary, you find out he was on the drugs and alcohol quite a bit too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Comment.
I think he blames. I don't know. I don't want to like insult Parkinson, but I thought he said something in that documentary about he wondered if there was ties to some of his drug use and stuff too. I don't know. I know nothing about as far as the.
Yeah.
All right. Chris says he never agreed with Todd Moore. The worst is Estevez. No one remembers him as a brat. That dude is Gordon Bombay. That is true.
Well, and you're right about Long Duck Dong too, there, Chris.
Getty Watanabe, yes, should be a Brat Pack member. Although, what else would obviously 16 Candles? Gung Ho, he was in that.
Gosh.
I wish they would have had a spinoff.
A spinoff of what?
Of just Long Duck Dong. It could have been just a movie called Long Duck Dong.
Called it the Donger.
The Donger.
See, I think Long Duck Dong would not have been a character that could carry a movie. A good side character.
It's a name that could carry a movie.
Well, a different kind of movie, maybe.
Different kind of movie, yeah.
A Long Duck Dong movie would fall under the same category as 80% of Saturday Night Live skit films.
Correct. Very, very well stated. Correct.
Then you Long Duck Dong 2, Electric Dongaloo.
Electric Dongaloo.
So,
be careful Googling that.
Yeah, Chris mentions the Long Duck Dong. See Thomas Howell, multiple episodes of Criminal Minds as well, according to Savannah.
He was a creepy serial killer.
He was also in The Hitcher.
Yep.
I believe he was a serial killer in that, wasn't he?
He wasn't. Rutger Hauer was.
Oh, that's right. Rutger Hauer was the. Yeah, that's right.
Celia says she thinks Mayor Winningham won a Tony Award recently.
I think so as well.
Interesting.
She also says, I don't think, and we're talking about Matt Dillon, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't think he really did any other movies with the rest of them. I know he did something called Drugstore Cowboy.
It's funny you should mention Drugstore Cowboy. I didn't recall it, and I was scrolling through Pluto, and that came up, and I had to check out the description, and it didn't sound like something I liked. They were literally holding up pharmacies. That just didn't sound intriguing to me. It's not your typical 80s fare.
No. But yeah, I didn't think about the whole angle in that documentary about it was the first time that Hollywood made movies that were teenage / kid centric.
Yeah.
And I never thought about that, but it's true.
It was, yeah. I remember thinking that when we were watching that documentary as well. I just clicked on a link here about the Brat Pack. I remember I hadn't really thought about Demi Moore being in Brat Pack, but I guess when you look back, she definitely was. But this has the Brat Pack movies, which is, we don't have to spend much time on this, but there's 11
We've already spent 23 minutes.
There's 11 of them here. These are ranked, by the way. 11 Wisdom. I would have never counted that as a
I've never
as a
even
Brat
seen
Pack
Wisdom.
movie.
I don't even know what
Emilio
that is.
Estevez and Demi Moore. 10, Class with Rob Lowe and Andrew McCarthy.
Yeah.
9, Oxford Blues with Rob Lowe and Ali Sheedy. I'd forgotten about that movie.
I forgot about that one. That is.
Class, was that Jacqueline Bisset in that movie as well?
8, St. Elmo's Fire. 7, Fresh Horses. Thank you very much. 6, Betsy's Wedding. Molly Ringworm and Ali Sheedy, directed by Alan Alda. 5, About Last Night, Rob Lowe, Demi Moore. I believe that also had a young Jim Belushi in it.
Might have.
4, 16 Candles. 3, Pretty in Pink. 2, The Outsiders. And 1, The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, it's gonna be Breakfast Club's gonna be number 1.
So 16 Candles is not on that list?
Yeah, it's number 4.
3 or 4.
I was waiting to hear a movie and I didn't hear it and I can't remember what
Weird
movie
Science.
it
That wouldn't be. That wouldn't
Say
be.
anything? Because John Cusack is one of those, because he was in 16 Candles.
Oh, exactly. He's Brat Pack adjacent as well.
What about Mystic Pizza?
With Julia Roberts. That feels like an 80s movie when you watch it. It has that 80s feel, but I was thinking it was a little bit later. But I could be wrong. It happens from time to time, most of the time.
A few other people have entered the room. If you'd like to check in, please do so.
Mystic Pizza was 1988.
1988. We've not even gotten to our real topic yet.
No. By the way, did you guys see that Richard Mall died this week?
I did.
I saw that.
Martin Mull.
Martin Mull. Martin Mull.
Richard Mole died earlier this year, didn't he? Actually,
I think maybe so.
Yeah.
All right, shall we get into the topic?
Yes, you call that lupine diversion, Chris. It's all right. We do that, as you know.
All right. So, we were going back and forth earlier on whether we have done a topic on this. Brady's take is that we've never done a complete topic. Chris would probably know better than any of the three of us. But this is all about examples of the Mandela Effect. The Mandela Effect. And I'll read this is from BuzzFeed. It was updated as recently as last month of this year.
Wow.
So pretty fresh. So I'll read you the kind of the intro to this. It says, have you ever been so convinced that you remember something, gone as far as getting into arguments with people over it, only to be proven wrong when you finally looked it up? Well, you might be suffering from something called the Mandela Effect. And yes, it is indeed named after Nelson Mandela.
Call it living in my house.
If you've never heard of it, the Mandela Effect is the name for when a bunch of people remember the same thing incorrectly, as in the thing everyone remembers never happened, doesn't exist, or was entirely different. The phenomenon was named after President Nelson Mandela and the false belief that he was dead many years before he actually died. Why does this happen? Neuroscientists have several explanations, but don't worry. Experiencing the Mandela Effect isn't a sign that your memory's failing or that it's been tampered with by time travelers. So that's going to start our list here. Number one on the list. These aren't in order, like of any kind of best or most popular to least popular or anything like that. Number one.
Poignant.
Alexander Hamilton was never the president of the United States. He was indeed a founding father, but he actually served as the first Secretary of the Treasury. And then it does say this Mandela Effect probably happens less after Hamilton, the musical.
Well,
go
ahead. There were multiple reasons why Hamilton was not president of the United States. He was obnoxious and disliked.
Yep.
First of all,
that is true.
And
second of all, also ineligible, not a natural born citizen, born in the Bahamas.
Yep.
I thought it was the Virgin Islands.
Maybe it was Virgin Islands.
I'll look it up.
I think you're thinking of Tim Duncan.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah. Common misconception.
Which we've talked about this before. I know we went off on a tangent one night about how, people, when Hamilton came out, people took it as accurate history and rather than an entertaining musical. There's several things historically inaccurate about the musical. So,
St. Kitts and Nevis.
Nevis.
Yes, which one of those West Indies outposts.
Yeah. But so not
Chris,
the Virgin Islands either.
It's funny you say that, Chris, because number 2 on this list, the Berenstain Bears are actually called the Berenstain Bears. I don't know if I'm reading either one of those right. But bottom line, it says this one is one of the more popular Mandela Effect debates, in which some people seem to recall the book series / cartoon about a family of bears being known as the Berenstain Bears, Berenstein. However, if you look now, they're actually called the Berenstain Bears, Bernstein. Many folks insist they remember it being spelled with an E, and one Redditor even found an old VHS tape of the cartoon, and one of the labels showed it with an E, while the others say Berenstain with an A.
See, I thought it was spelled Stein, but pronounced Stain. I'd always heard of Berenstain.
Bears.
I heard Berenstein or Bernstein. Growing up, I called him Berenstein because I always thought it was spelled like Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So I took that Stein part from that. But apparently, it was never spelled. Well, I don't know. Apparently, a Redditor found an old VHS tape of the cartoon. There's a link to that. Let me click on it and see if it takes me to some.
Berenstain. Does that relate to what it does in the woods?
Does a Berenstain in the woods?
Does a hobby horse have a? So this, I don't know if you guys can see this. If you're listening at home, it clearly does on this tape, but I think this tape looks
doctored.
Doctored.
Or I should say, what's the word? Counterfeited.
Yeah.
It was sold at the Founders Day flea market.
Yes. Berenstein Bears would be B-E.
So Chris,
A-R-R-R.
So Chris, you said this one drives you insane. So do you remember, Chris, seeing it as E-I-N, or do you always remember it A-I-N? What says you?
I mean, while waiting on Chris, I'll be completely honest. This is the first time I've ever heard the stain thing. I've been under, out in the dark on this one.
I swear I'd always heard it pronounced stain. I don't know why I think that. Because Brady, you and I were in mostly the same places.
Yeah.
In our formative years. I don't know why I would have heard it differently than you did.
Well, yeah. Well, you're right though. You're right. It is pronounced stain.
Yeah, but I thought it was spelled Stein and pronounced stain.
But no, that's not right. It's spelled stain and pronounced stain.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying.
But do you remember it? I guess
I had a different Mandela effect.
I guess more than the pronunciation of it, they're talking more the spelling of it. So you say you think you remember it with an E?
I think I thought I did. I mean, I had no idea this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
all right, number 3 in the Saw movie series, Jigsaw actually says, "I want to play a game." Many people think he says, "Let's play a game," or "Do you want to play a game," or "Would you like to play a game?" Which I don't remember the Saw movies. I know I watched several of them, but I always remember people saying like, "Do you want to play a game?" And he doesn't say that. He says, "I want to play a game."
Now the movie Scream, when Drew Barrymore's at the beginning and she picks up the phone, doesn't he say, "Do you want to play a game?" Or do you? No, he says, "Do you like scary movies?"
Do you like scary movies?
Yeah,
my bad. Yeah.
Well, do you know who does say, "Do you want to play a game"? Joshua on War Games. Do you want to play a game?
Yep.
You're
Is that
right.
John Cusack?
No.
No.
Matthew Broderick.
Matt.
Oh.
I get the two mixed up.
Yeah, I forgot it was Matthew Broderick.
And Ali Sheedy.
I get the two. Why was Matthew Broderick not in the Brat Pack?
There you go.
There you go.
Is War Games a Brat Pack movie?
John Cryer.
Ferris Bueller not in that top 10.
Well, John Cryer, if you watch that documentary, John Cryer's in it. And I think he kind of considered himself Brat Pack adjacent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Number 4. Disney's Mickey Mouse character has a tail. After all, he is a mouse. When picturing the iconic Mickey Mouse character, many forget that he has a tail. One common theory is that we don't envision the tail because Mickey often wears clothes that hide it. While this is true, and some of the time when he wears his typical red shorts, his tail actually peeks out from behind.
I mean, he's got a mouse. He does have a
pencil
tail.
Now, the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey Mouse had a prominent tail.
Did he?
The more recent version has a more muted tail.
Be kind of comfortable to tuck that thing into its clothes.
That's a wispy tail. It's quite a thin little.
So why does Mickey wear pants and no shirt?
Well, here's what I don't understand. If you look at this, if you look at this, are we to believe that there's a tail hole in the back of those shorts, or is it?
Is it coming out one of the legs?
Well, I thought that at first, but if you look closely, it's not coming out of the leg hole. So I'm expected to believe that there is either
Taking it
a
down.
hatch, a back hatch, or a tail hole.
Back hatch.
Well, there's got to be some kind of back hatch because look at those giant two buttons. I don't know how he gets anything fastened. Like
Maybe
those
he
are
has a
pressed
back
right up
hatch
against
like old time
Mickey's
pajamas.
Well,
Mickey's mice.
why does he not have a shirt on? Why would he wear a, or is he wearing a bodysuit? Is the
So ear cover and the arms and legs is all lycra, and the only thing that is his natural color is his white face.
I don't know.
Well-
It's weird that he's wearing shorts, but he's wearing short pants but no top.
Well, but again, Donald Duck wears a top and no pants.
That's true.
There's a lot of questions there. Well, I'm sitting here thinking maybe is Mickey always doing jobs, and it was in Florida and Southern California. Maybe he was just warm.
Another thing is Mickey looks pretty thin, but he's got some hips on him. Like look at the shorts.
Mickey got back.
Yeah.
Mickey looks hippie.
All right.
Hippie.
Number 5. The song from Grease is actually Greased Lightning, not Grease Lightning.
Greased.
Greased Lightning.
Well, we knew that, Brady, because we sang it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the highly, like I said, edited version.
So it's past tense. It was greased
Yes.
prior to the song. The group soup of the dilapidated 1948 Ford Deluxe convertible before giving the car its iconic name. In the famous words of that sentence didn't make any sense to me. In the famous words of Danny Zuko, this car is automatic. It's
Systematic.
It's
Hydromatic.
why it's greased lightning.
Lightning. The wagon we sang about was a different kind of wagon than was in the movie.
One of my favorite play-by-ear quotes. It was feline in nature.
Our wagon was not feline in nature.
No.
So do you think that like
It's satanic.
I wouldn't count this as a Mandela effect. I would just say this is just good old fashioned getting lyrics wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
Number 6, Shaggy from Scooby-Doo doesn't have a protruding Adam's apple. Now, I could have sworn that I've seen an Adam's apple on Shaggy.
Because he goes, kill it. And then, like, now I'm going to have to look.
I hate
I-
ads.
I would,
Well, I didn't know for years that it was a beard. I thought he had, like, skin tags on his chin or something. He had...
It's a goatee.
Yeah. That was never in question, but there you go, fellas. No Adam's apple to be seen.
It's amazing.
Not
Amazing.
amazing. I just always swore he did. Wait a minute. Nope. It's... I thought we had a... I thought we had an Adam's apple case, but we do not. Nope.
So
Number
are there now are there Shaggy like characters that do have an Adam's apple? Because some of these characters are very similar.
Do you know who comes to mind? The vulture that's in one of the
Yeah.
Looney Tunes. The
Yeah.
and he has the Adam's apple.
Like Scooby-Doo Shaggy is very similar to what's the character's name on Speed Racer? The one
Little
who
kid Spritle.
no
You know, like hey kid.
no
Was it? Are you thinking of Speed Buggy?
no.
Not Speed Racer.
Well, maybe it is
But-
Speed Buggy. Yeah, it is Speed Buggy
Yeah.
I'm thinking of.
There's a few Shaggy-esque characters.
Well, why? I guess this is the if people had the answer to this, we'd have this figured out. But why do we all remember Shaggy with an Adam's apple? Because I'm like you, Brady. Seems like I remember him swallowing it like.
Yeah, that's what I remember. And maybe that clip exists, but in just like the still framed. I didn't know Shaggy had a last name until just 2 seconds ago.
What's his last name?
Rogers.
You ready for this? Shaggy Rogers.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I knew
either.
that.
Kenny's cousin went counterculture.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go. What?
Speed buggy.
Oh.
That's Shaggy.
Oh my gosh, it is. And it looks like Fred with a bottle black, drugstore dye job.
True that.
Man. Huh. That is Shaggy.
All right. Got some. Chris says the best Looney Tunes character is Gossamer. I don't know Gossamer.
Gossamer. I'll have to check it out.
Gossamer must not be a classic Looney Tunes character. Must be one of those newfangled ones.
All right, number.
Oh,
why is my
it's a
phone
big
freezing
orange
up?
blob.
Oh, I didn't
I
know
didn't
he
know
had
that
a
was his
name.
name. Yeah. Go ahead, Todd. Sorry.
That's all right. My phone's freezing up on me. Acting silly.
Poison.
All right. Next up on our list, we have the Raisin Bran son does not wear sunglasses. And once again, I could have sworn that I remember seeing the Raisin Bran.
There is a sun in some commercial.
There
that wears
is.
Sunglasses.
I'm 1,000% behind you. It's just not Raisin Bran, but daggone it, Aric, I could see the commercial.
Yep.
I could see the commercial. But yeah.
So I should Google that. And you would,
I am.
Well, it only makes sense because why would the son be wearing sunglasses?
That's
That
like,
is a valid point.
That's like the dolphin, the me safe net. Where the son wearing.
Are you guys thinking of
Glasses.
Toucan Sam? Doesn't he wear sunglasses?
I think he occasionally does. Only in
While you're looking
special
that up,
occasions.
Aric, I'm going to move on. Number 8, Curious George never had a tail, even though a lot of people claim to remember seeing him use his tail to swing from the trees.
But once again, he's got it hidden by pants. Sorry about my lighting here. Oh,
So what? So the
I
one on
remember
the
a tail. That's messing with my head.
I can't do a proper search for a sun with sunglasses on.
I could look for it while you guys are.
number 9. In Lamb Chops Play Along, the song is actually the song that doesn't end and not the song that never ends.
I didn't know
Think
that
about
song
one, 'cause
came from Lamb Chops Play Along. Lamb Chop, like the character that is a sock.
Yes.
Is that what we're talking
It's like a
about?
sock donkey in it, isn't it? Something like that.
Sock donkey. That's a sheep. It's not a donkey.
That's
Hence the name
appropriate. I don't
Lamb
know why.
Chop.
Oh, well, no, but that's a lamb, but that is not a sheep. The thing with the shirt on back there. That's a sock donkey.
That sounds inappropriate, and I don't know why. It sounds like something we could get rung up for saying, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
I don't remember the show though. I mean, obviously in the logo, Lamb Chop is a lamb, but I don't think that puppet back there is a lamb. It's got big old pointy ears and buck teeth.
Well, there were different characters there. Sherry Lewis was multidimensional with her sock characters.
Number 10, the name of the popular aerosol air freshener is spelled Febreze, Febreze, and not Febreze with 2 E's.
So it's
I
for
don't really know-
Brez.
For
I don't know that I ever. I don't know that I ever thought any different. Really, I don't know that I've looked close enough at it to ever have the Mandela effect.
Well, I mean, no, we have a we have a pronunciation issue there. Like we said, it says Febreze.
No, it doesn't. The E at the end of it would make it a long E sound.
What?
E consonant E makes a long E sound.
I suppose.
Just like if you have the word Steve, for instance, Steve at the end makes it Steve and not Stev. Yeah.
I suppose you're correct.
Number 11, in I Love Lucy, Ricky never actually said the sentence, "Lucy, you got some splaining to do."
I just always assume, I mean, I could see him saying like that because every episode had him, correcting her for a harebrained scheme and threatening to spank her.
He actually did spank her sometimes, didn't
he? Yeah.
All
yes,
right.
April, Todd is up on his science of reading. Right, Todd?
Right, yes. Number 12, Chris asked about this earlier. The candy bar Kit Kat has no hyphen in its name. It's been around longer than you might expect, although there's some contention. It seems to have originated in an 18th century British literary club named after one Christopher Catling, a.k.a. Kit Kat. Well, since the candy bar may have been titled after a nickname, it makes sense there is no hyphen, even though that's how many people remember it.
I want everybody to listen to my words and pull in real close. There is a special edition Kit Kat chocolate donut flavor that is the daggone best newfangled candy bar I've ever ate. Pick you one up. It's amazing. It's an orgiastic feast of the senses.
I tend to stay away from those specialty flavors.
Me too, but I grabbed it by accident because I wasn't paying attention. And then it was too late. I'm like, oh, and then I ate it. And then the sun came out and the birds
with sunglasses on.
With sunglasses on. It's amazing.
Number 13. The name of the popular hot dog brand is spelled Oscar Mayer, not Oscar Meyer. So it's more like Oscar Mayer, like John Mayer's.
Yeah.
My bologna has a first name, it's Oscar.
And it's a Wonderland.
Has a second name, it's Mayer.
Yeah.
People should know that if they're
they
of
should
a
because
age.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Nobody thought that was funny. Come on.
I missed
John Mayer. My bologna is a Wonderland. Instead of my bologna as a first name, and he'd be singing about his love of this bologna on a dock.
That's not where I was going with that.
Me neither.
Sorry.
14. The popular show isn't and has never been called Sex in the City. It's always been Sex and the City. Many people insist they remember it being in at some point. Some people even have posted pictures of old memorabilia they have that supports their false memory.
Because she's writing a book. Or it's a magazine article she writes. So whatever she writes, it's called Sex and the City.
Yeah.
I hated that show. Sorry.
15. This one gets me. People think the Monopoly man, rich Uncle Pennybags, has a monocle, but he doesn't. I always thought the Monopoly man had a monocle.
I thought when you drew the go directly to jail card, the orange card, he was so shocked his monocle was popping off. I remember that.
Sounds like a personal problem. It's possible they're just confusing him with Mr. Peanut, the Planters Peanut mascot, who also wears a top hat and carries around a cane.
Except one's a human and one's a legume. How do you make that mistake?
Don't you guys seem to remember Pennybags having a monocle?
That's what I'm saying. Like that go directly to jail card. I think he's like surprised, like, and his monocle's flying off because he's shocked because he's got to go to the calaboose.
All right, here you go, Brady.
See,
here is your.
Is it going to tank me or is it going to verify my claim?
Tank you.
See, that's not the one. See, that's yellow. The one I remember is orange.
Well, okay, orange. He's being drug by his foot. If you see it down below there.
And I bet his monocle's falling off because it's hard to keep that in if you're being dragged by your foot.
Well, there you go.
I haven't seen it yet. Sorry. It's probably slightly off the part that they cut off.
What are you talking about?
See, the orange card. I remember his monocle, like him being surprised by something, and his monocle, like, when he was getting taken to Yale. But it was Mandela-ing myself. Uh-oh.
Here it is.
Product features robust and secure.
Hold on.
Oh.
Here are you
That's
thinking get out of jail free?
Well, if he's getting out of jail,
trust,
his monocle
trust
might be hidden someplace where he can't reveal it.
Trust me. The orange card indeed has no monocle.
Okay. I'm wrong.
So it's settled?
It's settled.
This next one's too silly to even talk about, but I'll read it real quick. It says,
there's
the Mona Lisa's expression has never changed, even though some people think she smiles more as time goes on. Now, that's just dumb.
Oh, that's absurd.
Well, basically, it says she's always been. I guess there are people that think that maybe she wasn't always smiling, but she's always been smiling.
She has a smirk, right?
Yeah.
She is definitely smirking.
Now, this one, this was my first experience with the Mandela Effect, but long before I knew what the Mandela Effect was. People remember a 90s movie in which Sinbad played a genie, but no movie exists. I would almost bet money that I remember seeing Sinbad in a movie.
I thought it was Shaq.
That's a different movie.
Okay.
It says, many claim to recall a genie movie from the 90s that starred Sinbad. The only problem is there never was one. Those same people insist they aren't confusing it with the 1996 flick Kazam, which starred Shaq as a genie. They don't know the title or what happened to the movie's existence, but they're all very certain that once upon a time it was a thing. I am one of those people.
All right. Now wait a minute. I did a search, and it like came up. Did Sinbad ever? And it play a genie filled in. And I look at this
I think it's one of the more popular Mandela Effect examples.
But wait a minute. Look at this.
Wait a minute.
What is that? Sinbad is in a genie outfit.
What's it from?
I don't know. Shazam?
See, that's what I thought it was called. Shazam.
Yeah.
Not Kazam?
Not Kazam. Shazam.
Well, now some of these things said Sinbad finally made that genie movie he was never in.
So maybe he was...
movie.
So they're saying maybe he just put that on to poke fun.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, anyway, that one. That one is has been around for a while. 18 Jiffy peanut butter doesn't exist. It's called Jif.
It's Jif.
Even though people remember the popular brand of peanut butter being called Jiffy and having a campaign that told mothers they could fix their kids a snack in a Jiffy.
Hey,
Jiffy has certainly been embedded in the minds of many, and it was even spotted in American Dad during an episode in which the character is uncovering a conspiracy.
But isn't there some product called Jiffy? Like
Jiffy Pop.
Cornmeal or something.
It's popcorn.
Jiffy Pop, yeah.
Yeah, Jiffy. It's the kind that's...
I think Eric's right. Look it up there, Eric. I think you might be right. It's like some cornbreads.
Cornbreads, yeah.
I think you're right. It's light blue and white.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm still thinking of Jiffy Pop. And for Jiffy Pop, it comes in like a pie plate, and then you walk it back and forth on your stove, and it pops, and it's contained by this aluminum foil thing. It's actually just a pyrotechnic device waiting to happen.
Yeah.
So you're correct, Eric. I say.
Look at it.
Yep.
Jiffy.
Jiffy.
Corn muffins.
Gearin muffins.
Nice. Just like barnacles existed at Long Yon Silver's.
Yes, you guys have your own Mandela Effect.
I do. Did I tell you? I think I did figure out where the barnacles might have been.
Where?
Squire Jacks.
Ooh.
There was a fish place when we were little, and I think it was in Mount Washington. It was called Squire Jacks.
Squire Jacks. I believe it was a Cincinnati only.
Yeah, and that's my if it wasn't Long John's, that's the only other possibility. But I still think it's Long John's. I know they were barnacles.
See, now that sounds to me like something that our group would have come up with, barnacles. But I don't think they were ever barnacles. Crunchies is what I called them.
If my friend Kyle Brewer's out there, I just about died laughing. He's like, just went through Long John's, got me some extra barnacles, and I about like, yes.
Number 19, the commonly seen text on vehicle mirrors doesn't say objects in mirror may be closer than they appear, but rather objects in mirror are closer than they appear.
Well,
See, I bet it says maybe. I still say because they can't speak for everybody.
Yeah, how does it know?
Let me look something up here real quick.
Because, it could be in the eye of the beholder. It could be somebody's. You're right, Todd, but I'm just kind of like free versing here because like that's making a pretty sweeping statement.
Well, here's one thing that I want to bring up. Then I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then Mr. Myatlawaf and Jim Steinman were wrong because his song "Objects in the Rearview Mirror" clearly says objects in the rearview mirror may appear closer than they are. So he was even the Mandela Effect made him write a song incorrectly this whole time.
Mr. Mandela
is that still written on mirrors?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I don't know. I would like that one to be debunked. I can't help. I can't think that Jim Steinman would have been wrong when that Meatloaf would have sang that all these years incorrectly like that. Number 20, despite people remembering a cornucopia being in the Fruit of the Loom logo, it's actually just a bunch of fruit. No cornucopias.
What?
Huh. I could have swore there was a cornucopia.
Maybe in some early iteration of the Fruit of the Loom.
Apparently, this Mandela Effect is so strong that flautist Frank Wesh made a 1973 album titled Flute of the Loom, seemingly a play on the clothing company's name, which features cover art of an array of fruit nestled inside a, you guessed it, cornucopia.
Flout of the Loom.
Isn't that a Jethro Tull outtake?
Play some for Celia, Todd.
Yes.
She loves her
It
Jethro
always bothered
Tull.
me that the apple in the Fruit of the Loom commercials, his head was popping out. Like, in order for his head to pop out, he had to core himself. And that just seems like kind of self-destructive. The grape just looks like they had a grape cranium, but that apple is like popping out its core if its head came out.
Number 21. These cheese crackers are called Cheez-It without a Z at the end, not Cheez-Its.
Now, wait a minute. Cheese-It? Well, you said without a Z. It has a Z.
Well, at the end. There's no, it's not Cheez-Its like a lot of people
after the T. After the T.
Gotcha.
But I think people are just using plural, like I had some Cheez-Its for lunch. You wouldn't say I had some Cheez-It for lunch.
It's not like deer, like 1 deer, 5 deer, 1 Cheez-It, 5 Cheez-It.
I wouldn't want to have it.
I put 20 Cheez-It in your lunchbox. What do you mean you're hungry?
I wouldn't want to have any kind of zit in my lunch.
But yeah, I don't think that's a Mandela Effect. I think it's just people using it pluralized.
Correct.
If I have 1 Cheez-It, I have 2 Cheez-Its.
And I wouldn't spell it with a Z on after the T.
Probably not. Yeah, I would. It's an S. Yeah.
If you want to get really, it could be.
We're debunking that one.
Apostrophe S.
That would be Cheez-It. Cheese it is.
Cheez-Its box.
It would be number 22. The cereal is called Captain Crunch, not Captain Crunch.
Cap'n.
Cap'n.
N.
Yep.
Cap'n.
I still can't believe that they come out with a milk proof, and they promoted him to Major Crunch because the milk couldn't get it. He's been needing a promotion for a long time. He's been hung up at that position.
23.
Hold on,
Sorry.
on. April has a comment here. I've seen the Fruit of the Loom one debunked on TikTok. A lady had an only T-shirt with that logo on it. What you mean with the cornucopia? Is that what you're saying? Or not? What was debunked?
Me or her?
April saying the Fruit of the Loom one debunked on TikTok. Now, the communist
So it had
Chinese
the
may be
copia.
trying to play tricks on us. These TikToks.
By the way, we're having some issues again, like we've had here lately with Facebook. Like, see, lost it on Facebook. She said she can't find it anywhere. She's having to watch it on YouTube, so she's not able to chime in. We've had that issue lately. I don't know what's going on.
Facebook did something. I don't know how to fix it. Chris says Cap'n Crunch should be a commander according to Navy ranks.
Captain. Now this one is another one that I am. Some people recall a Disney intro in which Tinkerbell flies across the screen and writes out Disney, then dots the I with her wand.
Yes.
Yes.
I've seen that.
But that's not what happens.
Or does she
It says
tint the
see
top
it
of
here.
the castle?
Aric, this is a YouTube video. If you want to pull it up, you can. Oh. You're not going to be able to see it because of the glare. Hang on a minute here.
But that's a Disney DVD.
Now, I'm thinking the Wonderful World of Disney opening.
See, I'm thinking older than DVDs existing.
Hold on.
I'll look for it while you guys.
I got it.
Got it?
I got it.
Are you going to debunk it?
I don't
Or
know.
bunk it? Or what? Rebunk it?
Is it going to be bunkin or deep?
Bunk Ed? You want me to go on while you pull it up?
Yeah.
24. The popular.
See, this is too new also because it's got Beauty and the Beast
Yeah.
and Tim Allen. Well, she did do that there, though.
Well, she
didn't dot any
the
I's.
I.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. We need an older.
There's a Wonderful World of Disney right there.
Mid 80s. We need 1970s. That's where I'm thinking.
We're going to get sued by the Disney
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Pause on block this with that wand.
Get on with it.
The Wonderful World of Disney.
Well, we've been debunking. Or bunked. We've been bunked. Oh.
She doesn't dot the I.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Or cross the T. There's no T in Disney. 24.
Okay,
The popular
Savannah
onion
has
ring
it.
chips.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Savannah had a comment back to Curious George, and she said, by the way, she couldn't comment on Facebook. She could watch it, but couldn't comment. So, she said Curious George had a tail in the books, but not in the movies or TV show.
Makes sense.
Also, the donut Kit Kat is good, and they have a pink lemonade one now too. Oh, I have a pink lemonade Kit Kat. I'm not sure I could go along with that.
The lemon ones are good, but the icing is actually yellow. So
I'm looking at some book covers. There's no tails in any of the book covers. Now, that doesn't mean there wasn't a tail in a scene inside the book, but none of the book covers.
Why the tail hate? Wonder why they wiped the record clean of Curious George having a tail. It seems like they're hiding.
What kind of monkey is he?
I don't know.
I mean, it's
not
not
a
all
scat
monkeys
throwing
have tails.
He's not a chimp. Chimps don't have tails.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a chimp. He kind of actually. He looks more like a bonobo.
Yeah, I can't find any evidence. It doesn't mean it's not out there somewhere.
A marmoset. A marmoset. Marmoset?
That's funny. I love the word marmoset.
All right, 24. The popular onion ring chips are Funyuns, not Funyuns. Spelled Funyuns. I think everybody knows that.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't
I'm
that
surprised.
just a pronunciation thing?
Probably so.
A fun ion. They didn't want to make sure it wasn't a nuclear or something or a chemical something.
Now, this was just silly. Some people remember a different, this is 25. Some people remember a different number of rings around the Target bullseye logo, but the one on the left is the correct one.
Oh.
I mean,
Man.
who looks at that great a detail at the Target logo?
Red dot in the middle, white circle, then red circle. That's it.
That's all I've ever remembered.
The rice 26. The rice cereal has always been called Rice Krispies, Krispies,
I-E-S.
not Rice Krispies, Crispy''S. Why would it ever be apostrophe S?
I don't know.
Why would it ever show possess? Like, I don't understand that.
Maybe it's because it goes snap, crackle, and pop. It has ownership of the sound it's making. So it's Rice Krispies, snap, crackle, pop. The three imps.
I don't know that I don't know that I don't know. I don't guess I've ever paid attention to how it was spelled.
I don't think I have either.
So, were you two gentlemen aware that there is a donut shop franchise? I don't know if it's a franchise or it has several different locations in the Chillicothe area. Krispy Kreme, spelled with C's.
Really?
Whereas
the national chain.
I did know that. I did know there was a mom and pop place that had the C's. Yeah. This is another dumb one. 27. In Toy Story, when Woody pulls his drawstring, he doesn't say. He doesn't say there's a snake in my boot. He says there's a snake in my boots. I've never seen Toy Story.
Really? They're good. I just don't. Why is that only funny right now at this moment?
But couldn't that just be a hearing thing? Like you think you hear the plural, the S at the end, but it's not. You know what I mean? That's not really a Mandela effect.
Yeah.
There's a snake in my boot. There's a snake in my boots. It's sometimes just the sound itself could have
Yeah.
See, I think a lot of these are not true Mandela effect.
The ones like pronunciation and stuff definitely seem to be.
Yeah.
They're misunderstandings.
True Mandela effect would be I thought something happened, but it really didn't.
But yeah.
But I like they're still entertaining.
The correct descending order on a stoplight is
descending order?
Yep.
Red, yellow, green.
Red, yellow, green, not green, yellow, red. So I don't know. Is that a common thing where people?
Well,
because most of these don't have any kind of explanation after this one's.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Descending order would be red, green, wouldn't it?
Red, yellow, green.
Yeah, red at the top, yellow, then green.
Oh, I'm thinking the way the lights light up. Red, green, and then it goes ascending, green, yellow, red.
Yeah, ascending would be green, yellow, red.
Yeah.
29. This one just seems dumb too. South America is actually not directly under North America on a map. It's to the southeast of North America.
Let's talk about the southern hemisphere, I think.
I mean, why is that Mandela Effect? Just look at
Yeah.
a map.
It's not like we're parsing Paraguay here.
I'm skipping some of these. This is about Final Fantasy. No, we're too old for that. We didn't play that game. The chicken restaurant's name is spelled Chick-fil-A, CHICK hyphen FIL hyphen capital A, not CHIC hyphen FIL hyphen A or CHIK hyphen FIL.
I kind of think that's what I thought it was.
I thought it was the middle one.
Yeah.
That one, I think maybe, but that wouldn't make any sense.
Chick-fil-A.
32. The arcade is called Chuck E. Cheese's, not Chuck E. Cheese's. Again, because we had talked about this. The E is for entertainment.
Chuck Entertainment Cheese.
I think that one's just one where
Cheese.
yeah. I think that's one where people just say it fast, like Chuck E. Cheese's. So then maybe people did. I could see people thinking it was called Chuck E. Cheese. But if you've ever been to one and looked at the sign, you would clearly see that.
Unfortunately, I have.
Yeah.
All right, here's a Pikachu, and I don't. The tip of Pikachu's tail isn't black.
It's brown, isn't it?
Good for Pikachu. That's nothing. It's just yellow. It's the same color as the rest of them.
One of the kiddos has a stuffed Pikachu. I thought I had a black-tailed tip.
34. Ed McMahon was never a representative of the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. He was the spokesperson for the less popular American Family Publishers sweepstakes. That one.
Now that's a Mandela Effect right there. My world shattered.
Because I only remember hearing about Publishers Clearinghouse. I don't really remember hearing about American Family Publishers sweepstakes.
Yeah. I want to know why these publishers had so much money laying around. Like,
bet they don't now.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, so do we agree on that one? We all thought it was Publishers Clearinghouse?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
35. Now this one got me too. The white correcting fluid is called whiteout, WITE hyphen out, not whiteout, WHITE hyphen out. I didn't know that. I guess I just never paid attention.
How's it spelled?
WITE hyphen out, OUT.
Huh. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can't call it white out.
What's this nonsense? Some think they remember Henry VIII holding a turkey leg in this famous portrait, but he's actually holding his gloves. Why would he be holding it?
Yeah, like that whole turkey leg thing. I mean, even in Looney Tunes and cartoon pop culture, he's always eating a big old turkey leg.
See, but I don't remember a picture like that. I remember him holding it up like this.
Yeah. And then
I mean, the man probably enjoyed a good turkey leg, but if you look at the picture, the real picture, I could see mistaking the glove for something like a smaller turkey leg because it's hard to tell it's a glove, but definitely not one of these big bulbous turkey legs like in the other side.
He also enjoyed putting his wives to death. So.
Though there are many "What if I told you" memes, Morpheus never says this at any point in the Matrix. You see all the memes with Morpheus there. It says like, "What if I told you something or another?" But I guess he never actually said that in the Matrix movies.
Yeah.
Let's see. Another Ben Franklin was never president. Who ever thought Ben Franklin was president?
3-year Letterman, the Twitter feed, he always gets people going by talking about Ben Franklin being the greatest United States president, and he just does it to rile people because it's a parody account.
Yeah.
And people still haven't figured out that it's a parody yet.
The popular stuffing isn't Stouffer's stovetop. You guys know what it is? I always thought it was Stouffer's.
I didn't know it. I just knew it as stovetop.
Yeah.
It's Kraft stovetop. See, I thought it was Stouffer's. Stouffer's stovetop dressing.
Kraft.
Huh. I don't think I've ever.
So we'll skip a couple here. There's only one F in the name Double Stuff Oreo, not two.
Knew that.
See, I thought they were double stuffed Oreos. STUFFED.
Because they're not stuffed. There's stuff in it, but the chocolate cookie would have to be stuffed internally for it to be double stuffed.
Are you
There's
saying
just a lot of white stuff?
So you're saying there would need to be walls. There would need to be outer walls, exterior walls around the edge of the cookie.
It would have to be a cookie box filled with white stuff.
There's only a roof and a floor. There's no walls.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Yes.
So if I take 2 graham
We're
crackers,
losing Aric. He's dropping.
if I take 2 graham crackers and I put a giant marshmallow between them and I smash it down, are you saying it's not stuffed with marshmallow?
No, it's a graham cracker with stuff, marshmallow stuff. Now, if it was a complete prismatic, if it was a box and you lift the graham lid and you put marshmallows in it and then shut the lid, then it'd be stuffed.
Forget the cookie. Give me a tub of the stuff.
Give me the
Eat
stuff. Kind of like cinnamon roll icing.
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't know this either. The name of the sneaker brand is Skechers. Skechers, not Skechers.
No T.
Sketchers. I thought it had a T in it.
That I only know because had to get some Skechers pool shoes for one of the kiddos.
Because the shoes aren't drawing anything. So it can't be
Yeah,
T.
that's true. Now this one, again, I will say I didn't know this. Aric, I know you don't know this. Brady, you might know this. But I don't think this is Mandela Effect. I think this is just somebody not noticing something. C-3PO from Star Wars isn't 100% gold. Brady, do you know which part of him is not gold?
His eyes?
No.
His midsection where all the hydraulics and wires are?
No.
His shins.
He has a silver leg. Like from the knee down, he has a silver leg. One of his legs is silver.
His shins. His shins.
I did not know that. But,
don't think I
again,
did.
not Mandela Effect.
You threw down the gauntlet. I got it right. So you need to apologize to me.
You did.
The person who's never seen Star
I assume
Wars.
you guessed.
I've seen Star Wars in the movie in the theater in 1977.
Do you remember C-3PO having a silver leg from the knee down?
Somehow I remembered it. I said shin.
After Brady rounded off 5 or 6 other body parts.
No, I knew it. Oh, I just happened to say shin.
The fruit cereal called, well, technically it's not just, it goes all the way down to his foot and stuff. So it's not just his shin. The fruit cereal, blasted.
Curses.
The fruit cereal, let me find it. I don't understand why a website just decides to reload.
It knows you're on air.
Oh. Clicked on a picture of Ed McMahon and it took me to a...
Chris says, first time I ever saw Brady worked up was because of a pair of Skechers. You put a T in it, Chris.
I
no
think...
T.
See? Not the same thing.
What was that
I think
about,
he's making
Brady?
a joke that maybe I saw some artwork that I shouldn't have seen back when it was his junior high teacher.
Oh.
Like 2 kids making drawings, not
Yes.
shoes.
Drinks. The fruit cereal called Fruit Loops is called not Fruit Loops. F-R-O-O-T.
O-O-T.
Not F-R-U-I-T. I don't think anybody thought it was F-R-U-I-T.
It should be Fruit Loops.
You need the double O's for the loops, plus it ties into the loops, the word loops. All right, gentlemen, what's the opening line to the Mr. Rogers Neighborhood theme song?
It's a
It's a
beautiful,
beautiful
day.
day in the
A
neighborhood.
neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor.
For a neighbor, would you be
Could
mine?
you be mine?
Brady, did you just say a beautiful day for a neighbor? Is that how
For
it
a
goes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is how
Well,
it
that's
is.
not the first line. You guys got that wrong. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood is the opening line. I didn't know that.
Huh.
I just don't think he enunciated real well.
And then he just kind of got, a little bit lazy by the end. He's just like, it's a beautiful day in the hood.
The candy is called Sweetarts, not Sweet Tarts.
What? I don't believe that.
Or Sweetarts. But either way, there's not
Sweetarts.
There's not two T's. It's Sweetarts. Sweetarts.
There's no H then. There's no sweetheart. Wait a minute. Sweethearts. It's sweethearts.
Why would there be an H? It's not sweethearts.
Sweethearts.
Sweethearts. Sweethearts. No, it's pronounced. People call them sweet tarts, but it's actually not. It's sweethearts or sweetarts.
Sweethearts.
Sweethearts.
So if you were to separate,
maybe
it would
it's
be sweet
tarts.
Sweethearts.
Sweet
tarts.
This looks like something we would have lost trivia that night with the Fresh Prince question. In Forrest Gump, Forrest didn't say life is like a box of chocolates. He said life was like a box of chocolates.
Was?
Life was like a box of chocolates. Again, I think we've shared with our audience before how we lost the trivia points that time because we said in West Philadelphia, born and raised, on the playground is where I spent most of my days. And I think it was on the playground was where I spent most of my days. Or maybe we had it that way. Either way, because we looked it up and remember it was both.
Yeah.
I think it said it either had changed at some whatever it was. But
why would he say was? He wasn't dead.
I don't know.
Well, he was no longer there because he was in Bel Air now.
No,
he was born and raised.
Forrest Gump.
It's talking about Forrest Gump.
Sorry. My
I'm
bad.
thinking, I don't remember Forrest going to Bel Air.
I'm surprised.
Maybe he ran through there.
Maybe he was the guy who saved him from getting beat up on the playground.
Here's the Skechers story. Chris says, Brady was my health PE teacher, and years ago there was this fellow with Skechers. Would you be that fellow, Chris?
No, he was not.
That constantly kept squeaking his shoes on the tile floor as others saw it. Getting Brady's feathers ruffled, they joined in, and before you knew it, you had 10 to 12 teenage boys making their shoes squeal until Brady finally had enough.
They're lucky they didn't have to go to a proctologist to have them removed.
Did he go off? What'd he do?
That was pretty
go
chill.
off.
Did you read you the Riot Act? What is
there
that? What is the Riot Act?
Read. But
all right, we had a few more here.
Sounds.
The instant soup is cup noodles, not cup-o noodles.
I always thought it was cup-o soup. Is cup
Maybe that's
noodles and cup-o soup are two different varieties?
Maybe so, yeah, but this is just cup noodles, which seems kind of silly.
That is silly.
Like noodle, like I think that's a type of noodle. These are your run-of-the-mill cup noodles.
Not those ramen noodles. Just plain old cup noodles.
Now this one gets me.
Got kicked in the cup noodle.
You mean in the family Jews?
No, the family noodle.
It's a little above the family jewels.
Not the beans, the Frank, I think is what he was talking about.
Right before Mom put Bactine on it.
How to get the beans above the Frank?
I was going to say it. You beat me to it.
Oh, gosh.
Hannibal Lecter never said, hello, Clarice, in Silence of the Lambs. Now that one I do remember seeing this before, and I thought I remembered him saying that when she first walked in there.
What did he
Todd.
say?
He says, good morning.
Oh.
Folks might be misremembering a line from Jim Carrey in The Cable Guy. So are they saying that Jim Carrey or whoever, that they said it wrong? They said that they were mimicking Lecter and said it wrong?
It's probably what happened. So Todd, I'm going to have, we've got a Mandela effect within a Mandela effect because I was looking up cup noodles and cup-o soup. Do you know it's not even cup-o soup? It's soup. It's
cup-o soup?
Yeah, it's got an A. It's cup Soup.
What?
That's silly.
That
I
is
always thought it was cup of
Cursive A, easily
that's-
mistaken for an O.
Oh, there's no doubt about this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw it, but
yeah.
looking quickly,
Yeah.
I thought it was an O.
Brady, here's another Star Wars one for you. The line from Empire Strikes Back is, "No, I am your father," not "Luke, I am your father." Here's the exchange. "If you only knew the power of the dark side, Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. Luke Skywalker, he told me enough. He told me you killed him. Darth Vader, no, I am your father." I always thought it was Luke. I think that's been used in other movies, like making
Yeah, absolutely.
Tommy Boy. When
that?
he's talking into the fan. Luke, I am your father.
Yes, yeah. Number 51, the popular powder candy is called Pixie Sticks, Pixystix, not Pixie Sticks, Pixie Stix.
Pixie sticks.
So it's more like Pikesy. Pikesy Sticks.
Straight sugar.
Sugar. 52, and this candy is Mike and Ike, not Mike and Ike. It's Mike and
It's not
Ike.
Mike Nike.
Is it? Wait a minute. Isn't it Mike ampersand Ike?
No, it actually is not.
It's not.
It is
it's
Mike and Ike. They just turn it upside. They turn it cattywampus to throw you off.
Cattywampus. Could have sworn it was ampersand.
53. Many people remember Smokey Bear being named Smokey the Bear, and some recall him wearing red suspenders.
Nah.
But
they must.
it's Smokey Bear, and he never had red suspenders. He's always been bare-chested, no top. He's got bottoms on.
He would be bare-chested.
So why is he wearing jeans? So he's wearing jeans, a belt, no shoes, no shirt.
Because he has a tough skin rug in his lair.
He doesn't have a
bear
shirt.
skins.
I thought he wore a. Nah, I've seen different pictures of Smokey Bear than that.
See, I've always saw him shirtless in jeans,
What
like he worked for the state in the summer.
See, I thought he wore like a green vest.
He might nowadays because it's finally acceptable to no one that anybody runs around shirtless with a pair of
Here's
jeans.
what I want to know. I'm probably going to screw the entire website up trying to zoom in on the. I did. Crap. See if I can find that picture somewhere else. He seemed to have a misplaced, possibly third nipple.
What?
Let me find it here.
I mean, I'm trying to consult my zoology.
Wouldn't any
Yeah,
nipple
because-
be misplaced? Any third nipple?
Well,
I guess
no.
so.
Well,
you'd expect it to line up.
Think
Would
about
ya?
a dog.
Wouldn't
There's
expect to make
probably
a
multiple
triangle?
teats. They're multiple of twos. Like there's more than just two. It's like a dog.
Yeah, but they're
So,
parallel.
I mean, yeah,
But-
across from each other, right? They
Do
would go
male
in lines.
do male dogs have multiple teats?
They're vestigial. They're not fully functional, but I think there's some nipule on the.
Multiples? Not
think so.
duals?
What did I
We
do?
careened.
Big time.
All
I
right.
just
You
saw
can-
Savannah.
You can milk anything with nipples.
I think I lost that entire website. Crap. Oh well, we had done enough. I lost that entire website. I don't know, just disappeared.
Savannah Miller says, "Imagine having to tell a 16-year-old not to snort a pixie stick."
Yeah.
I found it back again. Let me.
Chris,
No,
at what
this is-
distance from the original nipples have to be from the third nipple for the third to actually be considered a nipple? That's a valid question as well.
Well, I'm gonna try to find this and see if you
These
guys
are the
don't
deep
see.
things that
I did it again.
Todd's technical.
This is the touchiest website in the history of websites.
Well, I mean, it's
Okay,
about
I'm not
bare
gonna try-
nipples. It's
I'm not going to try to zoom this time. I'm just going to, hopefully you guys can see this.
Kisses.
Oh, you bear.
Say it. Say it.
Something.
Okay,
Look
yeah,
right
yeah.
by the. Yeah. Look right there
Look
by
at the big lit up nipple.
Look right by the tip of the shovel or whatever, the top of the shovel over towards away from his arm.
Like at Southwest.
Well, it's almost parallel to the top of the shovel tip.
Yeah.
I see no nipules. I can't
What do you
tell.
see?
Probably
right
just a
there.
mosquito bite or a tick bite.
Do you see it though?
I see furry pecs. I don't see any nipules.
No, below it. What is that protruding from his skin below the pec?
It's a tick because Smokey had Lyme's
It's a wood
disease.
tick. Here, I'm gonna try something else. I got an idea. Screenshot.
Screenshot it.
Now
Zoom in.
I'm going in on that nipple. What is that? What is that? What's in the box?
I think. Do you know what, Todd? You know what I think that is?
But there's not one on the other side.
Correct. I bet that was standing. That was a freestanding thing at a park, and I bet that was like a speaker where Smokey would say something, and that was a little speaker.
Oh, I do.
Remember
I see
to
it now.
throw
If
away
you
your
zoom out,
daughter.
that's a sign.
Yeah,
So that's a boat.
Okay, so you
Not a
said he
speaker,
had
it's a boat.
you said he had a third nipple. Where are the other two?
Well, I assume they're behind his hairy pecs. Behind the
Maybe he's only got one nipple.
they are where nipples should be, but you're right. It's if you look close up here,
the bears aren't
you see that-
unipular.
you see that the other side is a sign as well.
Is that a word?
Yeah,
No,
What?
it isn't. Uninipular is not a word.
unipular. It is now.
All right, so
Gonna
I'm
go
gonna
with the
skip through a
isms.
couple here. Frosted Flakes. Some remember Tony the Tiger's nose being black, but it's actually blue.
Bleh.
It's after he took a punch from Toucan Sam at a battle of cereal battle.
The Queen in Snow White never said, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all." She says, "Magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all." Now that messed with me because growing up, I always heard "mirror, mirror
Yeah.
on the wall."
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Don't know.
In the '90s movie starring Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, it is called Interview with the Vampire, not Interview with a Vampire. I always thought it was a vampire.
A vampire. Yeah, I did too.
So is that the only vampire in the world then? The vampire?
Well, that's right because it's called. Oh no, you're right. It's called the Vampire. Some people believe the Laughing Cow logo had a nose ring, but it does not. It does have earrings.
The Borden. The
Borden one has a
cow
schnoz ring.
Has a nose ring.
Yep.
Bulls sometimes wear nose rings, not cows. It's not called the Laughing Bull. Some people remember. Go ahead.
Okay, is
There's three more, by the way.
All right, I'm going to ask a stupid question here. Isn't cow an overarching word
I
for
think
that
it
type
is.
of animal?
I think it is.
Yeah. But it's wearing earrings. In fact, it's wearing cheese earrings.
Well, I mean,
Must be a Wisconsin cow.
you can't make you can't make any assumptions here.
Some people remember Uncle Sam's hat being red and white, but it's actually white and blue. I guess I never really thought of it.
I've always thought it was red, white, and blue.
No, it's
His
white
pants
and blue.
are red, aren't they? Yeah,
Well, you can't
Thought
see
it
his
had-
pants there.
I thought it had stripes.
me too. That's probably a iteration for
An
sale.
offshoot.
Yeah,
That was the original Uncle Sam on that
Yeah.
poster.
yeah.
I think different iterations of Uncle Sam had striped hats.
Number
Yeah.
60. The correct slogan for York Peppermint Patty is "Get the sensation, not feel the sensation." They're getting that mixed up with the Marky Mark song. Feel this. It wasn't that. Feel,
Good vibrations. Come on,
Sweets.
girl.
Right,
I
so
thought
far.
I thought it was sweet sensation. I thought that was the
It
lyric
is.
to the song.
It's a good vibration. It's a sweet sensation. Come on, feel it.
Last
feel it.
one. Again, I don't know how anybody was ever wrong about this. The popular pizza rolls are from the brand Totino's, not Tostinos. Whoever thought it was Tostinos?
Tostinos.
And that is our list. So I think we can agree that most of those were not Mandela effects.
Yeah.
Those
So there's actually very few Mandela effects out there. So to make a list of 62, they had the reach.
Yes, indeed.
Chris, were you repeating what I said? It's a tick. He has Lyme's disease, or did we simultaneously say that?
I don't know. I think his comment came after, although he's behind.
Yeah.
Listening to it. Okay, April says cows are the ones that have had a calf. Before that, she is a heifer. So cow is not an overarching word for that animal. So
Sorry,
a bull
it's
is
a herd of
cows.
Well, it's overarching for us because we tend to overarch a lot of.
We're
lot of words.
overarchers.
and we are not farm folk.
That's right.
No.
We're suburbanites of Sardinia. Well, I'm in Sardinia proper, or I was.
Yes.
I'm a Sardinia.
I grew up in the
suburbanite.
suburbs, right past the .75 loop. The bypass
Well.
that went around.
Well, it's in the city now.
Yeah.
They'll pick you up for speeding out there.
Oh Lord, it's a trap.
It's a trap.
It is.
Chris said he was typing it, and you said it before you got it typed out.
You're a genius, Chris.
Cattle is the term we're looking for, according to April. There we go.
So cows isn't a word?
Cow is a certain type of cattle.
Okay.
Is cattle singular and plural?
Hey,
No,
it's plural.
I have a cattle here, and this is a cow. Or I have a cattle here. This is a bull.
No, because people just say cows, they don't say bovines.
Or do you say, look at the buttle on that cattle? Or is it look at the buttles on those cattles?
I wouldn't say either, but so many questions.
Too many questions. So...
All right. On to the game.
On to the game.
On to the game. All right. So the game.
Got your juice box, Brady?
They were out. I'm having to rock with some Cherry 7-Up.
Cherry 7-Up. Not even a hug.
Cherry 7-Up.
We're out. They
haven't
drank
heard of
us
that since
dry
the
this
90s.
weekend.
So
tonight. Cherry. I didn't know that the cherry sucker was pink.
Bank. Chris, anytime I hear about cattle, I hear in them back. I must be. I hear
What's
envy
that
back
smell?
in
Hello,
my
what?
mind. Boom, boom.
Oh,
Say it
hell you
again.
say.
Boom.
I believe we use bovine more than we use anything.
We do.
Bovine excrement.
All right. In honor of our game called Confident. Here is Mr. Jack Palance.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy. Don't you think? Original and cooling blue.
By Man has the wettest throat and sinus cavity of anyone ever.
One more time.
What the heck? He's feeling frisky.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin.
He's got it in his eye hole.
Very sexy. Don't you think? Original and cooling blue.
As soon as that cut, he was cursing offline because when he did that, he got some right in his eye hole.
Do you think that was a tick? Like a nervous tick?
Oh. I thought we were back on Smokey the Bear.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man.
Obviously, because Skin Bracer smells just like motor oil and whiz.
That's what men smelled like back in the day, Brady.
Yeah.
That's right.
See, you get down and do a one-arm push-up like Jack Palance.
Exactly. Jack Pounce would kick your... He's been dead 20 years. He'd kick your ass.
Right. He pounce. Jack Pounce is what they call him. He pounce all over you.
Pounce.
All right. All right. So to remind everyone how this game works, basically we are playing, and the Kyle King rule is in effect, by the way.
Of course.
They're just simple questions, and the person who gets the question has to make a guess. These are numerical answers. So one will make the guess, the other one will say higher or lower. So kind of a card shark sort of thing there. So we drew lots backstage. Todd will go first.
Todd's had a plethora of lots drawn first.
You think?
You like? No. I actually prefer the second spot.
All right. So Todd, this is your question. It's about cruise ships.
Brady.
I've never been on a small cruise ship, but not a real cruise ship.
A 3-hour tour?
Yeah. Fort Lauderdale to Freeport, Bahama.
Todd, what's the maximum passenger capacity of the biggest cruise ship in the world?
Oh, I don't get multiple choice?
No.
Okay, what is it again? I need a piece of paper.
What is the maximum passenger capacity of the biggest cruise ship in the world?
$2,400.
2,400. Brady, higher or lower than 2,400?
I think it's higher because the largest cruise ship in the world caught fire a few days ago. It had a little bit of an emergency and had to go into the port. And I think it was more than that, but I could be wrong, but I'm going to go higher.
All right. The Harmony of the Seas is nearly 400 yards long, so equivalent of 4 football fields long, and also has space for 2,100 crew, so it can hold nearly 9,000 people in total.
Gosh.
6,780 passengers is what the Harmony of the Seas can hold. It is higher. Brady gets the point.
Dang.
It is 1-0. So we are playing to 5, by the way, gentlemen.
Gotcha.
Schmiddleman.
Schmiddleman.
Brady.
See.
This is about VHS tapes. In what year was the last Hollywood movie released in the VHS format?
2004.
2004. Todd, higher or lower than 2004?
I'm going to say slightly lower.
Okay.
Earlier. What do you want?
The release of A History of Violence marked the end of the VHS era, but it wasn't until 2016 that all major manufacturers stopped producing VCRs. The year that the release of The History of Violence occurred was 2006, so it is not lower. It is higher. Brady gets the point.
I just kind of pulled that number out. I knew it had to be early 2000s.
Ass whooping.
All right, Todd. This question's on tattoos. This is according to a 2019 Ipsos poll. What percentage of U.S. adults aged 18 to 34 have at least one tattoo? Tattoo?
18 to 34. What does this give a year?
2019. So 5 years ago.
It's adults, not men, women, everybody, right?
Correct.
I'm going to say it's 38%.
38%. Brady, higher or lower than 38%?
Basically 3 out of every 10 people.
Yeah.
That'd be almost 4 out of every 10 people.
Yeah.
I'm Todd actually chose the number that I think I would choose, but I got to pick one. I'm going to say slightly higher.
So 92% of those who have tattoos say they're happy with them. The most regretted tattoos are of someone else's name. However, according to this 2019 Ipsos poll, 40% of adults aged 18 to 34 have a tattoo. So it is a slight bit higher. Todd, you were a very good guess, but
yeah,
and
like I said, Todd, I would have picked.
Doesn't the Kyle King rule like reach out there and?
afraid not.
This is going to be a pulpus.
Yeah,
it is. Brady, the world's first speeding ticket. It was issued to a motorist driving at what speed in miles per hour?
20.
20. Todd, higher or lower than 20?
the world's first speeding ticket doesn't give a date, right?
Does not.
I'm going to say higher.
Higher. In the year 1896, Walter Arnold was hurtling through the English countryside at 4 times the speed limit and was fined a shilling after a 5-mile chase by a police officer on a bike. Walter Arnold was going 8 miles per hour when he got his speeding ticket.
Crap.
Do you remember that Mystery Science Theater movie where they're having this high-speed chase on these little golf cart things and they're going like 5 and they're like, yeah.
This is getting to be a pulpus. Todd, you're on the ropes.
I know. Brady's in the barn.
I'm in the barn.
All right. So this is about Friends, the TV
show.
The show.
Yeah.
How many episodes of Friends were made?
$140.
140. Todd, higher or lower than 140?
I think it was supposed to be my question.
I think it was supposed to be your question, actually.
We could throw it out.
But I'm going to say higher.
Okay. Friends aired for 10 seasons from the year 1994 to 2004, with an average of 24 episodes per season. In total, Friends had 236 episodes.
Big.
And is a bonanza in syndication and reruns. So Todd gets the point.
And then Brady loses a point for going out of line, out of turn.
I should
taking him out of the barn.
Well, I thought you said my name. I responded to a prompting. I just didn't.
You
come in there
responded
like
to a
the
prompting.
Kool-Aid
It was
man
only
busting through a
happening
door.
in your own mind.
Right. You know, Chuck Woolery wouldn't put up with that.
Exactly.
Neither would Bob
2
Eubanks.
and 2. All right. So, Todd, I'll give you the choice. Would you like the question now, or would you like to give it to Brady? And
I'm going to give it to Brady.
Okay.
No,
That'll be
I I want
Okay.
it. I want it.
I was going to say, that'll be the penalty here.
Okay.
So, Todd, this question is about puppies.
Everybody loves puppies.
Dog puppies. What's the biggest litter of puppies ever born?
Can I jokingly, can we say 101?
17.
17. Brady, higher or lower than 17?
Slightly higher.
Brady says higher. This litter of puppies was born in England, in the year 2005 to a Neapolitan Mastiff called Tia. By the way, 8 is the human baby record as far as babies delivered at one time. In this litter, however, born to the Neapolitan Mastiff Tia, 24 puppies in that litter. So Brady is victorious.
That was a shellacking.
It was.
At least I didn't get skunked.
No pulpus occurred. I don't want to speak out of turn or call attention to something, but it's just kind of interesting. So, the people across the street, my neighbors across the street, they weekend occasionally, and they had when I moved into my house and they bought the place a couple years later, the quadruplets were toddlers, and now the quadruplets are college age. So they had their quadruplet birthday bash on the lake. It has morphed a lot since it's changed. Let's just say that.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
All right, Brady. Kudos.
Thank you.
Congratulate yourself.
I will accept a kudai.
Give it the old.
I don't even feel like I was on a roll. I just kind of think there was some divine intervention.
Hello, Samantha. Is Brady in a closet?
No, Samantha, I am in the laundry room. It is just quieter here. There is goings on in my home, and the laundry room is just kind of out of the way and quiet, and I can shut myself in here.
But you are in the corner, it looks like. Somebody puts Brady in the corner.
Yeah, if you go back and look at the beginning of the recording, I'm in the corner because I was having the window is on my right hand side, and I was having sunbeams come in, and it was like right on my face, so I had to move over to the corner to keep from getting light washed.
Chris is sending back channel messages.
Oh yeah, Chris, I see what's going on here.
The Puppet Master. That's his new nickname, the Puppet Master.
Nobody puts Brady in the corner.
Nobody.
Was that a Mandela effect? Did he actually say that? Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Could be a Mandela effect.
It was actually, they weren't going to send. Nobody puts baby in Cornish, England. They were going to send her away, and
it would be something like it wasn't nobody puts baby in a corner. It's nobody puts baby in the corner. You fool.
Yeah. Fool.
I didn't mean to say Cornish. I meant to say Cornwall.
Cornwallis.
Cornwall.
Cornish hen.
Okay.
I just put a D
All
at
right.
the end of hen. Cornish hen, not hind.
Did you think the Cornish roosters feel relegated to the dustbin of history?
I don't know, Brady. I've never really put myself in the shoes of a Cornish hen.
Do Cornish hens wear shoes and no shirts? Just shorts?
2 gigantic buttons and a tail hole.
One misplaced nipple. One wandering nipple.
Which, according to 2 brilliant people in this show, it was a tick with Lyme's disease. It still cracks me up that he came up with that too, man.
Is it Lyme's disease or Lyme disease, Brady?
Lyme. No S.
Is it?
Was it named after a guy named Lyme? And then it would be Lyme's disease, wouldn't it?
Well, if that were the case, it'd be apostrophe S.
Right.
William P. Lime.
Why do we even wonder anymore? We can just literally look it right up.
Yeah, but you're holding a computer in your hand. You're holding the whole internet in your hand.
Lyme. It is Lyme disease. But first off, fellas, it's not spelled like the fruit.
It spells L-Y-M-E.
L-Y-M-E. Let's look at the.
So,
wonder why it was named
Lyme disease. I think it would be Lyme's disease if he had the said disease.
But if he
also
discovered
known as
it,
Lyme
would also be
borreliosis.
Lyme borreliosis. That sounds much more serious.
Serious, yes.
I'm sorry, sir. You have Lyme borreliosis.
I wish I could see where it.
Although I believe Lyme disease can be fairly serious.
It can be, yeah. Plus, there's no cure for it, is there?
And there's an outbreak of that around my parts at Lake Winoka. We have a lot of deer, and the deer ticks are spreading Lyme disease.
I'm gonna knock on wood. I haven't had a wood tick on me in years.
I don't go where
you had a real one. Sorry.
What was it? You guys? I know there's been lots of people in my life make fun of me for calling them wood ticks, but that's what we grew up calling them, wood ticks.
Yeah.
And I just saw a video the other day on something, and the guy called it a wood tick, and I was like, I need to send that to everybody who ever made fun of me because other people called them wood ticks as well.
Yeah.
Nobody called them deer ticks growing up.
I don't hang out where wood ticks live.
Well, I think wood ticks and deer ticks are two different species.
Because I think we looked this up before. I don't think there's actually anything called a wood tick scientifically. Okay. I think it's just I might be wrong, but
all I know is that the ticks on deer are the one that spreads Lyme disease, and then the other ones are the ones that called Rocky Mountain spotted fever.
Another reason.
The American dog tick.
Dog.
Or wood tick is a species of tick that is known to carry bacteria responsible for several diseases in humans, including Rocky Mountain spotted fever and tularemia. It is one of the best known hard ticks.
Gary beat you to it. Dog tick, a.k.a.
Thank you, Gary. Yeah. Man, those are nasty.
You have to burn them out. Her papa called ticks crawling bloodsuckers.
No, I call them telemarketers.
Do you guys remember having to get a tick burn out of your scalp?
Yeah. No, because I've only been bit on the head by a tick once, and it was about 5 years ago because I was in the shower washing my hairs, and I felt it, and I plucked it out, and it had actually bit me. And then a day and a half later,
you're not supposed to pluck it out. Its head will get stuck in there, and then you'll be in trouble.
But I woke up with 103 fever a day and a half later, and they thought I had the Rocky Mountain spotted fever.
Did you grow spots?
Did you have Rocky Mountain high?
It was called a Rocky Mountain yak, but but no, like my development of symptoms, I immediately went. And I didn't have to, like, whatever they treated me with happened before the spots. So it's kind of like one of those things, if you get out in front of it, you don't get spotted.
So you only had the Rocky Mountain fever.
Yeah, I only had the Rocky Mountain fever.
The Rocky Mountain way. I remember finding ticks on me all the time when I was a Ute, but I played in the woods a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I haven't had one in decades.
Another reason why deer are useless animals. My car
that's
hits
a different
them and
tick, right?
Ticks.
A deer tick and a wood tick are two different things. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they are.
Do they look alike?
One is brown and plumper, and then one is smaller and reddish black.
Svelte.
How to identify a deer tick? Examine the tick.
That would be a good first step.
That is a tick.
Confirm that it's a tick.
Are you a tick?
Jiminy,
examine
that's a tick.
the tick's scrotum. No, not scrotum. Scutum. Sorry, it looked like scrotum at first.
Well, what kind of tick you're?
Examine the tick's scutum or shield. Okay, so we have a deer tick. The female deer tick is larger and, interestingly enough, brighter. Like, because like birds, I think the male is always like the more colorful, right?
Always the one with the plumage.
Yeah. The female deer tick, though, is much more bright brown and bigger. And there's a brown dog tick and there's a Lone Star tick.
A what tick? What was that last one?
Lone Star tick.
Found in Texas, I'm assuming.
Step 2, the next to the last step, is you look at the length of the tick's mouth parts.
Mouth.
Or capitulum.
So you got to look at its scrotum and its mouth?
Well, that's not that far apart in the tick. Step 3, consider where you found the tick. That's it. That's all you got to do. See, we teach. We're a teaching podcast.
Take that under consideration as to where you found said tick.
That's right. So step 1, kids, if you're listening.
After examining its scrotum and its mouth.
Don't get those mixed up or you might misidentify the tick. It might be
misgender the tick.
Did I find it on a dog right here?
That's your consideration. Did I find it on a dog or a deer, or in Texas in the case of the Lone Star tick?
Where's a small dog riding a deer, and
do other furry animals not do cattle get ticks?
I know they have fly issues,
or only cows, or only bulls.
Because it does seem weird
you have to look for a tick.
But it does seem weird why you don't hear about cats getting ticks.
It's only dogs. Mean. They'll swat them.
Cats don't meander around in the woods, do they?
Oh yeah, mine.
They meander.
Yeah, they meander. They Sorry.
Nicely played.
Meandering. My cat.
I just tried to type in "do cats get ticks" and I said "do cars get ticks." So now the internet thinks I'm the dumbest person in the world.
I was hoping you didn't swap a D for a T.
Oh. I would never swap a D for a T.
Cads.
Cads. You cad. Well, we were at the racket club, and somebody came in inebriated, and they acted like a bunch of cads.
How to tell if your cat has a tick? Check its scrotum.
Well, I've got female cats, so that's gonna be.
Then they don't have ticks. Ticks.
Ticks.
I've never enunciated so hard in my life.
Ticks.
Well, they don't have those either.
Gosh,
the Dusty Road did.
I'm looking at a picture of a cat all ate up with ticks. Yeah.
No, please
Why
don't.
did I Google this.
No.
That cat's covered in them.
No, I'm
riddled.
Queasy,
Look at this poor
don't.
cat.
He's
He
riddled.
looks like an Oreo cat.
A stuffed Oreo cat.
Well,
So this answers our question, fellas. Cats can indeed get ticks, but you never hear about that.
No.
Nobody ever picks off a big old fat bloody tick from a cat.
well, like I said, the cat's too mean. Once it gets its paws on it, it'll box it.
Cats. It says, do cats get that? Cats can certainly be infected with Borrelia burgdorferi, which is Lyme disease. The causative bacteria of Lyme disease, they appear to be very resistant to the development of Lyme disease. In fact, there is no well-documented case of a cat developing signs of Lyme disease, even when they have been shown to be infected by B. burgdorferi.
Is there an unwell documentation of a cat having
They've
Lyme
produced
disease?
antibodies to this organism. Cats are amazing creatures. The reason for this feline resistance to Lyme disease is unknown.
It's meanness, I'm telling you. My cats are very
So
kind
cats
to
can
me,
get
but-
AIDS, but they can't get ticks, or they can't get Lyme disease.
True that.
That's strange.
When I took the dogs for their, it was my two pups were up for their booster rabies vaccines and things like that. And there was a poster in the vet's office that said 1 in 10 cats gets leukemia. And I just
Feline
bamboozled
leukemia.
me.
Interesting.
All right, we've meandered
We meandered.
in all kinds of different directions tonight.
This was
Rats
a satisfying
documentary.
episode.
All right, I got to investigate this Facebook issue. It's costing us views. Got to do something about it. Chris said the only thing I know about cats is the horny ones can be chased away by shaking a tin can full of pennies. Wow.
How do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know they're horny?
We just said it.
Well, you shake a can of pennies. If they run away, they were horny.
Well, you got to check their scrotum.
Got to check their ticks.
Ticks.
Well, you know what I was
Fly on my
speaking of Mandela Effect. I mean, it's not the same, but like those old cartoons where a cat, whenever it was meowing on a fence post, and who's throwing expensive shoes at this cat? I mean, think about it, like where they would get out there singing and somebody be throwing boots and shoes and everything at them, and like, who does that?
Well, what else do you throw?
Not my pair of shoes.
Do you guys think? Well, you don't. Do you guys think that in general there are fewer stray cats and dogs than there used to be? I don't know number wise, and maybe I mean, but like I know like where I live, I rarely see a stray cat. Every once in a while, a stray dog.
Definitely more stray cats than stray dogs.
Really? Because see, growing up, the stray
Oh, yeah.
cats was definitely a bigger, but I don't think the sheer number of stray cats are around like there used to be. Now, maybe it's because there's more coyotes around and they kill them.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think the stray cats have done anything since 1987, have they?
What are you?
There's
What's
a
the
fly in here the size of a thimble.
blimp?
A tick? Check its
A
scrotum.
flying tick.
Check scrotum. I checked. It's a fly.
All
It would have
right.
to have a fly if it had a script. Never mind. So,
We've done
on that note,
done enough damage here. All right, let me get my things up here. Okay, if you want to listen to us on audio, you can do so on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and the iHeartRadio app, or most anywhere else you find your audio podcasts. Video, we're on Spotify, YouTube's, and Twitch.
YouTube seems to be a
Twitch.
lifesaver tonight. Everybody's on the tube.
Yeah, no one's on Twitch. All right, social medias, Facebook, X, and Instagrams. Search out Play It By Ear on any of those platforms. You can interact with us via email, admin@playitbyearpodcast.com. Leave a voice message at your audio podcast provider. You can click your link. It should say leave a voice message. If you're using the iHeartRadio app, it's called the Talkback feature. It looks like a microphone. You can leave us a voice message that way. We'd love to have a voice message from the historian. Chris, why don't you leave us a voice message? The gauntlet has been thrown.
Or, because since he's doing backroom dealings, he brought...
Oh, that's true.
I had to
we
scroll
can,
up. I'm sorry. He brought Samantha on to...
Samantha,
Yes.
you can send us
Yes.
a voice message.
Yeah. Chris, you should... Yeah, you can start delegating people to send voicemails for us.
Yeah.
We'll have to put
Songs
Chris
are
in the
not too
payroll.
insulting to yours truly.
All right. Yes. Not only
Chris,
the
you're
historian,
officially on the payroll.
not only the historian, but the marketing agent
That's right.
for the podcast.
And it's a very low-paying job, Chris.
It is. And if you do well, we'll double your pay.
That's right. In fact, you have to pay us.
All right. Anything else to give the order, gentlemen? Schmentlemen?
Just
so.
have a happy 4th of July, everybody.
Oh. Why didn't we make this a 4th of July episode? That's not like us.
I'm a little off my game.
We've
because,
talked about that. We both have been. We haven't known what day it is all summer.
Yeah, and then like with Reagan, who just turned she turns 18 tomorrow, and the proximity of this milestone birthday to 4th of July, we did some celebrating today, so I'm kind of like all off kilter.
Yeah.
I'm off kilter.
I've been one day off.
Me too,
Awesome.
dude. That's what I said. It's been one day, and I could trace this back to that first week that we were off of school. Like it started where I thought Monday was Tuesday, and I've been off ever since.
Yeah.
That's funny you say that.
Yep.
Well, then you all just need to keep working. You'll know what day it is.
That's right.
Yeah.
Are you off yet, Aric, for the summer?
I had to switch some days around, so I've got to go in Monday and Wednesday.
Monday
I'll
and
be
Wednesday.
done. 'Cause I have,
And
I
then
have an
you're
appointment
off?
on Tuesday. Yep. Then I'm
Been
off.
Gotcha.
working, doing power washing, different things, and trimming hedge. I've been doing outdoor labor of late, getting caught up, so it all runs
These hedges
together.
do need trimmed.
Yep.
Yes.
Hedge those trims.
That's what she said. All right. Takes out, Todd. Celebrate your independence on Thursday.
That's right.
Happy 4th.
Maybe we'll talk about Independence Day next week.
Yeah, we could. All right. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Play It By Ear podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter at Play It By Ear Pod 2, and our website at anchor.fm/Play It By Ear podcast. Thanks again, and join us next time as we play it by ear.